The Premier League, Chelsea and Arsenal played to a 2-2 draw on Saturday at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea going up 2-0 before Arsenal got second half goals from Declan Rice and Leandro Trossard. Funny thing about Arsenal, their manager Mikel Arteta, he's found himself talking about goalies quite a bit of late. Same case after this 2-2 draw on Saturday. Let's listen in.
There were chants for Aaron Ramsdale from the Arsenal supporters. Just what was your feeling?
Great. I love him. I will sing as well for him every single day. We sang a lot for him yesterday because he was a father. The most beautiful thing to do, and he's someone that has this charisma and personality and is very loved around the team.
All right, for more on the situation at Arsenal, we'll talk some Chelsea as well. Great to welcome in Neda Manua, Julian Laurent still with us. Shaka, though, I'll start with you. Interesting about that. After the game, Mudryk has come out and he said that he knew Raya was going to be off his line on the goal because the Chelsea goalie coach had told him.
He's given himself the chance to say whatever he wants to say. He executed it. He said somebody told him, and maybe he knew that he was off his line. For me, it looked like it was a left foot sort of cross to the back post, and it's not the worst sort of like dig out, but you know, as Shaka's saying there, Raya's in a funny position. Maybe he saw it, maybe he thought, maybe put something towards that back end. But I think any player that will attempt something like that with a weaker foot, they're either very confident or very lucky. So Mudryk said he meant it. Mudryk did what he wanted to do.
Jules, I see that smile on your face. What's behind it?
I don't believe a second that that's exactly what he wanted to do. I mean, and even post-match, he said that he tried something in between, which again, it doesn't make any sense. You don't try something in between a shot and a cross. It's either a shot or a cross that, at this level. You know, maybe me playing, maybe I try. I mean, even Shaka playing on the field, maybe, but not someone like Mudryk. Come on. So, well done to him because he scored. It should have been a big goal. You know, it should have been a big goal for Chelsea. In the end, it's still a goal that matters because they got a point. They should have got more in that game. But yeah, he didn't. Come on, he didn't mean that.
You like it or not, maybe he meant it. Hitting from where he hit it, it went in and it became a goal. So maybe he meant it. Because he's telling you that the Chelsea goalkeeper told him that he should always shoot there because Raya is never off on this position, and he used his weaker foot and it went into the game. So whatever people are saying, it's up to you, whatever you want to believe or not. This guy is telling you that he was coached to do that and he did it. It produced a goal. So whether you're gonna say something about it, it's up to you. But let's get back to the story of what we are really talking about here, which is concerning us now, Mikel Arteta, and the craziness that is happening when it comes to the goalkeeper. Who exactly is going to be the goalkeeper? As the Arsenal fans were chanting for Ramsdale to be back in because there are so many mistakes that David Raya is making. So that's what we're going to be talking about here, as it looks like things are going to be really escalating. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. By the way, hello guys, welcome back to the Connect. We talk about what has been happening here. This is the reaction to what the ESPN guys were talking about when it came to Arsenal's performance over Chelsea, and Raya mistakes costed Arsenal, if you could say so. But also you can hear Mikel Mudryk coming out and say that the way he kicked that ball, he meant it. So you have to put some belief in whatever he's saying. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Shaka, it wasn't the only mistake from Raya. There continue to be these, for lack of a better word, kind of nervy moments.
To play that ball to Declan Rice there, when Cole Palmer is just ahead of Declan Rice, when Caicedo is closing him down from midfield, even if the ball gets to Declan Rice, he is in a whole heap of trouble if he gets that ball. So the execution was poor. The decision, I'm not sure which was worse, to be honest, the decision or the execution. So what is the sense of making or even trying that pass? And again, it's a conversation that we've been having almost by the game with David Raya since he's come in for Aaron Ramsdale. And I'm not sure what to make of it all. I really don't, because was it 2-0 at that point? That goes in. Listen, at 2, I thought Arsenal I thought Chelsea would have seen it out. Another goalkeeper mistake to talk about there. But at 3, surely it's game over.
So Mikel Arteta has told us that kind of form would be the deciding factor when it comes to goalies. To that end, Jules, do you think we've seen enough?
Oh, hold on. Wait, sorry, I need to cut you off there. Form was not the deciding factor.
No, but that's what was said.
Form was not the deciding factor in Ramsdale getting dropped. And so while, no, I'm not having to go you here, fine. Mikel Arteta says that. But that's not true. That's convenient. Form was not the deciding factor in Aaron Ramsdale getting left out, regardless of how it wants to be phrased.
Okay, let me ask you then what I was going to ask Jules. Is the form now from Raya bad enough to consider going back to Ramsdale?
I think Arteta will stick with him because he's boxed himself into a corner. I think he's made this. And it was this kind of, and I complained about it at the time, this weird precursor about, well, there were a couple of times I wanted to change my goalkeeper during the game. I mean, everything about it was just odd. And now he's found himself in a pretty similar position that he did with Havertz, where it's going. I don't think it's as bad as it was with Havertz, but it's very close to it, where he has no other choice but to. And I don't quite think he's there yet. But again, I think even more than with Havertz, he has boxed himself into this. Because at least with Havertz, he brought him in the summer. He was trying to give him some time. But now he's left one player out to bring in Raya. And again, in my opinion, there wasn't a good reason for that. And now he's trying to figure out how to adjust and save face, given some of the things that he said.
A team where you're expected to be attacked the most, you'd expect goalkeepers to do this. It's exactly what makes sense whenever you're being attacked. And David Raya, one could say that he was very good at Brentford because it's a team that was only defending. They were not asking so much of him. In Brentford, he was not really expected to keep clean sheets. But in Arsenal, it's a must when you're a goalkeeper. And your decision is always scrutinized, not only by the fans, but everyone, because you're a big club. This is what the big boy pences really mean. And here we are talking about a guy who decides to pass to Declan Rice, who's under pressure from Moises Caicedo, as Shaka is talking about, as well as the other player was next to him, which is also, by the way, is Cole Palmer. So the decision was crazy. The execution of him passing to the Declan Rice, who he's trying to pass to, was also crazy. And also, why wasn't he thinking ahead of the player who's supposed to be receiving the ball? Was Declan Rice going to be able to deal with the pressure that he was being put under? Those are some questions that we're asking over this Raya guy, and there are so many questions we need answers. So now you wonder, when the Arsenal fans are chanting that they want Aaron Ramsdale, it's not just something that is coming out of a nutshell. It's something that we are seeing that is building up to go to there. So I don't know. I want to hear what this guy is going to be talking about next.
Jules, what do you think? Has Arteta boxed himself in here?
I think Raya, I agree with Shaka. I think Raya will keep his place. He will play against Sevilla on Tuesday night. There's no doubt. I mean, okay, there's that mistake on the Mudryk goal. There's the mistake for the back pass, the pass for Rice. Sorry, that Palmer intercepted. I just don't think that's enough for Arteta to rethink it or to change his mind and to again swap goalkeepers and change goalkeepers. Ramsdale was not on the bench because he had a little injury at the weekend, so I don't know exactly how fit he is. But at the end, the fact is, Arteta likes the distribution that Raya has, not that pass, but in general, especially going a bit longer, going long with accuracy. We saw that against City, we saw that with good effect against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League, for example, on match day 1. And I think that's why he's going to keep his place. There might be a time, maybe later in a few weeks, if Raya is continuing in this kind of form, that outside of the distribution, there's going to be a debate. But right now, I don't think there's a debate.
Nadim,
What I respect which Shaka is talking about is it was never form that dropped Aaron Ramsdale from being an Arsenal number 1 or Arsenal goalkeeper, because he was good. So if it wasn't form, why did you drop the player? If it wasn't form, because he talked about it is because of the form, and the form would decide whether Raya or Ramsdale will be used. Ramsdale was dropped, which was not even the form. Now we have a player in Raya who's making mistakes. and we can see that he's not going to drop him. And like what Shaka is talking about, he has boxed himself in this crazy thing, and I don't think he'll drop him. He'll keep this player, he'll keep playing him, and that is going to cause the chaos that we are already seeing already. So it's a problem. And it's a problem that is going to keep elevating and elevating, and it's going to create something that we are not even ready to see where it goes. But he's the one who put himself in this. And when I think about it, the purpose of buying Raya over Ramsdale is because maybe he's a Spanish guy. And because Arteta is a Spanish coach, he wants to promote another Spanish player at Arsenal. So now we're playing the rest card because that's the only thing we can see here, which makes sense. Ramsdale did not do anything to be dropped. Okay, maybe he might not deliver like Raya, but look at how many mistakes Raya is making in delivering, in doing what we expect him to do. It's not like another Onana effect that we're dealing with here. But now here we are. What do you think is going to happen? We can see here that form was not the factor, and he shouldn't lie to us about this. They should not even lie to us about this. So let's see what happens. Let's see how we do it. But this is trouble, I'm telling you. It's a smell of trouble.
You're a defender. Who would you prefer to have behind you? What do you make of this Arsenal goalie situation?
Well, to be honest, I have slightly different views to Shaka and slightly different to Jules, because for me, I think as the watching public, one thing we need to accept is that the way in which these goalkeepers are playing now is here to stay. And I think the issue really, sometimes we consider it to be execution and intent, but the managers, they want the intent, but they've got an issue with the execution. So as long as people continue to do the right thing according to what the manager wants, even though it seems like a risky pass from our perspective, then they'll keep doing it. I think we saw Brighton, for example, last year with Caicedo, with McAllister. They'd come to within 5 yards of the goalkeeper and be getting pressed, but that would be the setup to go and do something else. So I think that's why he's gone with Raya, because he knows Raya's comfortable enough to attempt the pass. I think his execution will improve, and for me the bigger mistake is that one that led to the Mudryk goal. But those things, in terms of those passes being cut out, managers, they want their goalkeepers to play like this. It's one of the reasons why you're seeing, say, in theory, David De Gea leaving Manchester United and other keepers moving elsewhere, because that's the way they want to play. They want people who are going to be brave enough to make the pass that the manager wants them to play, which goes against historically how most goalkeepers would play. And I think as well, from the form perspective, I don't know what's going on in Arteta's head, but one thing I know for sure is that I don't see what they're like in training. Maybe Arteta is forcing them to play those passes, and maybe Raya is more comfortable making them, and maybe he makes fewer mistakes like that. So I think for Arteta, when he sees what he's doing there, maybe that's a big reason as to why he picks him on Saturdays. But I think if you see his confidence drop down, I think that would be an issue. But for now, as I say, it's not nervous to want to try and play a ball into the midfielder. It's just bad execution when you can't pull it off when you know that you're capable of doing so. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like when the scrutiny is on him now, because as we know, Arsenal aren't Brentford, but he's a good goalkeeper. Arteta trusts him, and he's going to stay in the sticks because there's a reason he brought him in.
All right, so Shaka, it's a good thing you're here, because we're not done talking about goalies.
Okay, I hear what he's talking about, that there's this new thing that the goalkeepers are supposed to be doing, which they're supposed to be the beginning of attack. And of course, it's been explained by Nedum. That's the reason why David De Gea was let go, and they brought Andre Onana. But look at what the mistakes that Onana is doing, costing the team more than what David De Gea was doing. Same here. It looks like Raya's mistakes are costing us now more than they were doing even under Ramsdale. Ramsdale has made mistakes, but look at now how many mistakes Raya has already made. I remember before this started, they used to compare who had made more mistakes, but there were two different teams. Now you are being scrutinized for everything you do, and we are seeing so many mistakes that Raya is making. So my question is this: how would this continue? Is this going to be something that they call is normal? Are they going to leave it like that? But we are seeing the problems, and because there are problems, we are going to talk about them, and we expect some movements. Would we see that from Mikel Arteta? That's the question. That's the $1 million question we need answers to. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.